I'm Michael Peters, sports editor of the Tulsa World, sitting alongside Mark Cooper, one of our Oklahoma State beat writers, to talk some Oklahoma State football. It's a good week, a good game, I think. UTSA, who I've been impressed with, they blew out Houston when Houston opened their new stadium on the first weekend of the year. They took Arizona to the wire, and if not for a tough turnover late, might have had a chance to drive down for a tying field goal or a go-ahead score. So they come into Boone Pickens Stadium this week. Like I say, lots of intrigue too with Larry Coker, who's kind of a native son here and formerly on the Oklahoma State staff. So what do you make of Oklahoma State and UTSA?
Well, at the start of the season, if you looked at the schedule, UTSA, might have been a trap game for Oklahoma State. It's their last non-conference game, but I think UTSA got all of the players and coaches' attention the way they've played in these first two games. They're the most experienced team in college football. They have 37 seniors. Oklahoma State is 18, so there's a big difference in experience. And that might lead to a tough first half. UTSA, Glenn Spencer said last year UTSA was the most physical team they played. So
well, people think, and I guess Larry Coker, you can decide whether you think he got a bum rap at Miami when they ran him off after the national championship, but he's done a really nice job of building this program. I remember listening to him speak when he first got the job before they even had any players, and they get to play in the Alamo Dome. They get to bring in big names like Oklahoma State and Arizona who want to come recruit, and so they've done a nice job of turning that into something. And so he's done a really good job with it. That experience built up from having being the new program and the kind of the first senior class in the history of that program. And they did a nice job last year, I thought, against Oklahoma State. The game was a bit of a blowout, but they still continued to score late. So now, once again, it's a quarterback controversy. I guess we're going to probably be veiled in secrecy like we always are with OSU quarterbacks. Who's going to play? Who's not? So what did you see from Daxx Garman? What do you think about J.W. Walsh's health? Where do you see him lining out on Saturday?
I think Daxx Garman will be starting. I would be surprised if J.W. Walsh takes the field. Mike Gundy was pretty secretive about it, as always, but J.W. Walsh was in a boot after the game, and for him to come back that quick would be pretty surprising. Daxx Garman played really well, but it was Missouri State, so I don't know how you can really judge his performance against an FCS team. I think he has a bigger arm than J.W. Walsh, and even if J.W. Walsh was able to take the field, if his foot is hurt, that's his biggest strength is his running ability, and that's taken away.
Well, UTSA, kind of another somewhat non-Power 5 team in any way. I think I might take UTSA over Kansas and take my chances. And I heard the coaches were talking about, hey, this is kind of just like a conference game. Where do you rate UTSA? What kind of challenge will it be compared to the teams they'd face in the Big 12?
I think it'll be a pretty large challenge. Like you said, they almost beat Arizona last week, and Mike Gundy said he thinks UTSA is a team that could win some games in the Big 12. And in their first two games, they've looked better than Iowa State and better than Kansas has. I still think Oklahoma State will win. It might be a 2-touchdown game or a 10-point game, though.
For Oklahoma State to win, who are the players and what are the matchups that you're going to be watching this weekend?
I'm really interested to see how their offensive line performs this week. After the first week against Florida State, Coach Gundy said that they were average against Florida State. Then last week he said they were below average, and that's affected the running game. Outside of Tyreek Hill, they haven't really done much running the ball. They haven't run the ball up the middle well at all. So I'm interested to see how the offensive line performs against the veteran defense and how the running game performs.
Well, that's all we have time for this week. Please join us again next week for more Oklahoma State football.